Welcome back to Quiet Money Podcast, the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. Stay tuned. We're coming up next. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Quiet Money Podcast. I'm your host, Dax. I'm excited to have you guys here with us as always. I got my beautiful co-host with me. What's up, man?
Hi.
How you doing today? Everything's good?
Yes, I'm Randi, the co-host of Quiet Money Podcast.
Hey, can you believe how many episodes you think we're at now?
This is episode 26.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You remember the first episode and how we felt just getting it going, and now we're 26 in, and you feel
and
better?
we have episodes before the 26. Ones that never made it. I think it's like 5 or 6 of them.
We had our technical problems. What had the elements been busy at certain points, you know what I mean? But we made it. I love our show. Now, anyone that's new to our show, make sure you subscribe. This is the number one show, as I mentioned, for going through the ups and downs of life. And that's because life has ups and downs in it. And you heard all about that with us on our show. And we want to hear about you too. And this week has been an up and down week for sure, for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know if you're listening out there, sometimes at the end of the week, you could just feel spent. You know what I mean? You could be drained emotionally, physically, spiritually. Like you've been put up, you've been put down, you've been bounced around, you've been beat up, but you're still here. You made it. And now you got to try to re-energize and go through it and do it all over again. You know what I'm saying? But you got to do it and you got to keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? This week has been interesting, first off, because everybody's been sick.
The entire house, and it started
Everybody's
with me.
Been sick. All right, so how it start? How it start with you?
What my
Yeah.
diarrhea and throw up. It started with the throw up.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Like out of nowhere, I was like, "Oh, I feel nauseous. Something's not right."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then we thought it was your that feminine time of the month. You know what I'm saying? But it had nothing to do with that.
Nope.
At all.
And then it went to the baby.
Mm-hmm. And he was throwing up.
Yep, he was
like
throwing
heaving
up.
too.
Had to pick him up from school.
Mm-hmm.
Then it went to you.
Then it went to me. Mine was a little different.
Then it went to our daughter.
Yeah. Crazy. Like throwing up, diarrhea, and just feeling terrible. Just super terrible. And it flew through everybody.
Yeah,
everybody
I don't know what kind of virus this was. And then it just ended with the boys. They were throwing up at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So
now you can imagine what that does for our family and how
I was up all night.
Mm-hmm. Not me, but
I'm not.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I'll be trying. You know what I'm saying? But we had a tough week. Kids were sick. We were sick. Kids still ain't 100%. You know what I'm saying? Body hurting, laying down in the middle of the bathroom.
I don't know what that was.
Hey, 11-year-old throwing up all over the toilet seat, missed the toilet, all behind the toilet, all on the ground, on the tile and everything.
But you know what? I understand that because it was projectile. Like I had the same thing. I mean, I made it to the toilet, but tough, man.
Tough. But we made it through.
We made it through.
You know what I'm saying? But the family's been sick this week. What else been going on this week that's tough? What about you? What's been going on?
I started my new job.
Let's talk about
my
that.
part-time gig.
So we talked about that on some previous episodes, but we went and we was talking about the considerations for Randi going back to work part-time and the reason she did that. And, I don't remember the episode, but make sure you check them all out so you don't miss it. You feel me? But now fast forward. Randi decided to take the job.
Took the job.
So how'd that go?
It's cool. I like it. Right now it's a whole bunch of training and the work world has changed so much. This virtual environment. So everybody at this company, from my understanding, is virtual. And it's strange because there's people on the Zoom calls using avatars.
So you don't even see their face. You see some.
I'm like, okay, this is interesting. There's a heavy emphasis on like diversity, inclusion, and acceptance.
Right.
And then the other thing that I have never experienced in a workplace is using hashtags.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like
using them in what way? To do work or just
to do work, like in grouping your work a certain way related to when you're speaking to a specific type of client. Like this particular one was when you have issues,
right?
And it was like hashtag I don't like violation, hashtag. Like there's these certain words they want you to use when reporting stuff.
Right.
Like I said, I'm in training, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, oh, okay. And then the other thing would be you have to like a lot of the onboarding is done through yourself. So they have training on how to onboard yourself versus when I had a job in the past, you go into the office, you get your computer, everything's set up for you. They give you a schedule or they have already put together what you're going to do when you're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
This was different because they sent you the computer and then you have to set it up. We had to go in there. I had to go in there and download the app. So they had like training on how to set up the computer and how to obtain the apps that you need to talk to your coworkers and how I'm like, okay, so it's interesting.
And that's just in the couple of years that you ain't been working.
Right. I left work in 2021. Mm-hmm. But this is a big company and I do admire the security, the organization of things. I like my manager and, but apparently it hasn't always been like this too. Mm-hmm. They've gone through some hiccups because she's been with the company for 5 years. And she was talking about how everything is so organized for us, how they have processes where we now know what to do when we get the computer. Because when she first got there 5 years ago, it was not like that. They were all over the place. So I was like, oh, okay, it's not just us.
So you're coming in at a time where things have been enhanced and processes are better. And now you're getting the benefit from that as you come on with the company.
Yeah.
Maybe a little early to say if you like it yet or not. But so far, you like it.
I can say that my attitude is different.
Okay.
Being an entrepreneur.
What you mean by that?
I can tell you right now, I'm the ideal employee.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just because you do your own thing now.
Yeah, I know what the expectation is of me, and I know how to exceed it because I know what I would want from somebody in my role.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And that's true. Yeah. A leader and you're used to also having people work and support your business. So you know what you're looking for when people are doing things and not just doing the bare minimum. And we talk about this a lot, but how people can add value and how we might wish someone would do X, Y, Z to go above and beyond. And when they do that, it's value add.
Yeah.
And when you run a business, you could see these different opportunities where like people add value based on certain skill sets they have. And when they do it, it's like dope.
Yeah.
So I got that.
Yeah, it's cool though. And I can tell that it's a competitive It's a competitive market. But you don't like
how you feel in a competitive environment because you don't necessarily like competition.
I don't really like competition.
But how you like it here, or you ain't really had to feel it yet, or
for me, I think that it's going to be easy because naturally, like I can allocate my time in a way where I already know that I'm doing better than most people.
Right.
And I didn't even know I was doing better than most people, but when I met with my manager, she looked up some of my stats. And just by me saying, okay, I'm going to do 4 to 5 hours a day, versus wait until the last minute to do these 10 things. Like, okay, I'm going to spend this much time. She was like, oh, you've already done this, and this. Oh, I like you. She's like, I had people who came on 2 weeks ago and haven't done what you've done. Did that. I've only been there 2 days.
But that's the value you're bringing.
That's what I'm saying.
Being your own boss, having your own business, and now you're working with somebody else, but you're at a higher level than the average employee. I feel pretty confident.
But once again, it's been 2 days. Today is day number 3, and the actual work hasn't started. But a lot of like compliance training, like I said, setting up the computer and the testing. Oh my goodness.
But you're going to be fine because of the intangible skills you got.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You have the expertise. Of course, you're learning new things, but all the intangibles that you learn, having your own business, succeeding, failing, you know what I'm saying? Looking for things out of the employees, having to make yourself better. That brings intangibles to you working there that somebody else who's always just worked for somebody may not have. So like, you can't kill it. I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, in that same theme, what you said that I want to transition to is you talked about the processes that got now. And you talked about how you talk to somebody and things are better than it was for them 5 years ago. And that weren't just us. Because our situation, we talked about it, ain't always been optimal or the most efficient either. You know what I'm saying? And we've been looking to make changes and we've been doing some things to make things better. And we talked about that. Before I jump into all that, this is the perfect time to tell y'all this episode, like all episodes, but definitely today,
yes,
it's tax season coming. This episode is sponsored by Basden Accounting LLC. If you need your taxes done, you want them done by the best enrolled agent, the top credentials at the IRS. You want the top person looking at your taxes to make sure that you are getting all the benefits that you can, but you're also in compliance with the IRS. You're getting the credits you should get. You're getting the deductions you should get. Things are being looked over with a fine-tooth comb by the best. You need to come to Basden Accounting LLC. You don't need to be home trying to do it on your own, trying to cut corners. Taxes and accounting is not where you want to cut corners. And sometimes it's good to save a little money and cut corners. We all want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you do get what you pay for. And we'll learn that. So what you pay for with Basden Accounting is the top line service that we have enhanced this year. So make sure you check us out at Basden Accounting on Instagram. Check our website out, www.basdenaccounting. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you come to the best this tax season to get your taxes done.
Right, it's BasdenAccounting.com.
That's what I said.
You said Basden Accounting. You said www.basdenaccounting.com.
My bad.
There you go. Make it right.
You know, somebody might just go in and not put the .com.
They might. .org.
You know. But hey, look, make sure you go to Basden Accounting. You guys will not be disappointed. And to that theme with process improvement, I want to talk about for a little bit. We've been involved in the last couple of months, but definitely the last few weeks from the testing view in rolling out a new process and enhanced technology for our business, specifically for people that get taxes done, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I've been excited, a little bit nervous, you know what I'm saying? But what we have realized over time is that within the process we have, and when I say process, it's literally how do we provide service, how do we get paid, and every single step in between, right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
So from the very beginning of client A comes in the door, how do we advertise to them? How do we start their job? How do we finish it? How do we get paid? And all of those steps to get from the beginning to end. Over time, we have learned that we could be better and better at all of those steps, both internally in the work that we're doing, how we're working together, how our team is working, how much manual communication we got to do, how many manual steps we got to do, but then also the client experience. What is it like for the client? Do they know where things are at every step in the process, right? Is there enough automation there that makes things easy and fast and efficient for them? Well, it wasn't. It was very, very manual. So I say that's important because we got an EA. We have great tax accountants here, but you may not see that. You may not feel that. You may not be able to see us in the right vision if you're not getting the operational experience that you should get, right? So sometimes the expertise and the experience has to match, you know, and if you don't give them the right experience and the right efficiencies and process, they'll never see the expertise. And I think that was happening to us sometimes. And I'm very excited that we're kind of significantly, I would say, improved, where that the customer experience and our experience in doing the work is going to be way more efficient, way more interactive. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be able to even appreciate more the expertise we're given. You know what I'm saying? So when we had a team meeting about this, and as I rolled it out, I want to use this example here, but I talked about, you know, nothing wrong with Toyotas or whatever, but I gave the example of, you know, you've been driving in a Toyota all this time. The Toyota is a great car. You know what I mean? It's working well, efficient and all of that. But then you decide that, hey, today I'm going to go get a Bentley. Not, you know, luxury car. I'm going to go get a Bentley now. Well, that's great. Well, you would have all types of expectations for that. It's going to cost more, right? It's going to be more luxurious and everything that comes with it. But if you go down the street, right, and the freaking gas cap falls off of that Bentley, then all of a sudden the experience will be somewhat tainted because that thing that's so minor that you would expect to work for all cars literally just fell off on this new Bentley that you paid for. That would be something that if I was a Bentley owner, I would never want to happen. You see what I'm saying? So I started thinking about that as we roll out this new process of like, I feel that our new process is a Bentley. But how do I put it in the right way? How do I minimize risk so that clients don't ever feel like along the experience, like, hey, this thing looks like a Bentley. Hey, it's being sold to me as a Bentley. But little things are happening where the freaking gas cap is falling off on something like this, and they will question the value. So it was very, very important for us to test it. You know, so we spent the last week or so doing a lot of testing on this new software.
Hey, that was pretty cool too, by the way.
What's that?
The testing, I have never been involved. Well, it's been a few years. I'll say that with testing. But it was pretty cool to see how you came in there as usual, fixed everything, and just to see it move, just systematically, just did you see how excited I was getting this testing? I was like, oh my God.
Hey, so now when we're talking about processes, the thing that's important, we're talking a little business today, right? But if you're a business owner, you have to know how to actually build your process or what it should look like. And that's one of the things you can also get with Basden Accounting as well. What do you want your process to look like? And if you don't know, how do you actually create those steps? What are the steps that I should be taking? When I bring somebody on, how do I give them a contract? How do I get paid? How do I agree on the services that they want? How do I provide the services in an efficient way? How am I pricing it the right way? How am I having caveats if things don't go down the happy path and we got issues? They don't provide us all the information. They need us to do it 30 days later than they say it. They need us to do more than they promised at first. The list goes on and on as a business owner that you have to build a process around. I use McDonald's before I give you the example, but they got to have a process for everybody that comes in, looks at that Big Mac and says, I don't want this crap. It don't taste right. Got to have a refund process. Got to have a return process. All these type of things you got to think about. You got to think about that with taxes too. People may not be happy at certain points in the transaction. How do we minimize risk with that? People should be happy. We would expect people to come back. Maybe they don't. Like, it's all different types of things. And we need to have a process where we're not just manually emailing here, checking on this, checking a SharePoint in this place, giving a call, checking a text message. What happens when the process is not efficient? It doesn't matter how good you are and how much you know. You can't give clients the consistent experience, repeatable, and keep it the same for everybody. And that was very, very important for us to improve things. We want to be great for everybody. Everyone's going to get the same experience because it's a brand thing, right? And technology is one of those things that can really help you do that efficiently, but you have to do something first. You need requirements. All right. So anybody that's out there is like, what is this guy talking about? Where do you want to go? And how do you get there? Equals requirements. Before you build anything, what is required? What are you looking to get? We got to build a base set of requirements of things that your business is going to need within its process. And now you got to go build your process out. What are your steps? Whether they're 5 steps, whether they're 10 steps, how do you get from here's my customer interest to my customer is satisfied and they've paid me? That takes a lot of work, more than what you think. You need to go to the right people for that. And you got them right here at Basden Accounting, right? And we're learning as well and we're improving. But once you have your process in place, all you have is opportunities to improve it. And you will continue to learn and improve as you go. And if you are really a great business owner, no matter how good that process is, as soon as it goes in, you will keep evaluating and looking for opportunities to improve it because things do not stay the same. All right. And you continuously learn as you go along. So we've learned a lot, right? And we finally put in something this year to speed it up. That's going to really, really make things better for people. All of the manual steps that we have to bring clients on is now gone. It's gone. If you are interested in us, every piece of information that you get is right there automatically. We just put you into the system, contract coming, fees information is coming, engagement letter is coming, questionnaire for you to provide us the information we need is coming. The status for you to see where things are is coming. Account creation, all automatic. Gotta love it. And everybody gets it the same way.
Yes.
And they can see where things are in the process. And as soon as they say, I'm interested, and they sign, as soon as they say, I'm ready, and they pay, we see it right away.
Right away.
And it goes right into that spot that lets us know it's time to go to work.
Yeah, and I like how it's smart because you get the notification on your phone. If you have the app secure.
But we on a different level.
Yeah, you get the email.
None of our work was associated with any apps.
No.
Let's be real.
And the client they have an app too. So they can log into the app and see exactly where things are, which is pretty cool.
Very, very cool. Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
So we went through, had some little issues in testing, which is all part of testing, but we put the time in to test it from both the preparer or accountant experience, but also the client experience. So it was good to see what it looked like on both sides. Like, hey, what does it look like for me to do this work and to work through this workflow in our new system? But these automated notifications that people get, what do they look like? What's in them? You know, what is their experience when they go in the portal? We got to see both. So now we could feel really, really good about it. You know what I'm saying? We have our processes in place in case things are not perfect, in case information is missing, in case people need an extension now. We can go in and have these decisions flow automatically and consistently. And it's just great. Now, with that, all the testing that was done, I'm going to be honest with you, with all the testing that was done, now it's time to roll it out. I was nervous. I was a little nervous because it's like I'm here and it's like the unknown, of course, is always a little scary. But a lot of times, no matter how much planning you put into something, no matter how much testing you put into something, you don't know until you actually go live with it. And you have to take that risk and say, hey, I'm going to leap. I feel like I'm ready. But I was a little anxious because I'm like, I really did. Like, honestly, I know you think I'm all that and all that, but I was really like, man, I'm really about to roll this thing out that I built.
How does it feel?
I feel good, but I'm like, I won't say amazed with myself, but I'm just like, I did that. I'm kind of in this energy of like, I did that. And what does that mean for
me?
What
does it mean? Because it's your first time building it
and implementing it
outside of work.
Building it for myself. Yeah, this is the first time I've taken a lot of the skills and things that I've learned over time as an employee in different environments and things of that nature, and using my own expertise to create something for myself and create something for my business, you know? And I know that some of the fear of rolling it out is not having a secondary thing to tell me it's great. And I realized that now when you work for somebody or when you're in a relationship with somebody or you're in a club with somebody, whatever it is, sometimes there's other people that can help with your confidence. Sometimes there's other people that can ease your insecurities. But when you're own business owner and you got to make your own decisions, it falls on you, whether it's right or wrong. So there was nobody I could go to today, really, and be like, have I really thought of everything? Is this really going to work? Is this going to be okay? You know, I had to feel okay with it. It was on me. And I did it though. So I feel really good, but it's actually opened my eyes a little bit to my own capabilities for myself.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, yeah, I did that.
You did, and you did that.
Yeah, I did that. You know what I'm saying? And I put it all together and how it needed to be created, implemented, tested, and rolled out. And I did that.
I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. So we're going to see how it goes. Yeah. It's in motion. You know what I mean? So it's no turning back. Everything is out there. You know what I'm saying? Everything is out there. But for all of our existing clients, or if you're a new client, listen, man. Like I said, Basden Accounting is where you want to be. Because not only now do you have the best people doing your work and you have the expertise, but you also got the experience with it. And we're very, very proud to say that. And we are going to continue to improve. You know what I'm saying? But this is something that is a big thing for us. And as we have rebranded our company and now made it reflect what we truly are and what we truly provide to people, this is just another step in making it right. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact, no matter what, things are not perfect, but we are not going to be that Bentley with the gas cap falling off. That's not going to be us because we care too much. We'll put too much work into this. And when you come and ride in this Bentley, you're going to get the experience that you expected. And it don't matter who pulls up to hop into the Bentley. We're not going to have anybody hop out and be like, nah, I think that was a Toyota. You feel me? That's not going to happen at all. And that's why we're going to sit there and make sure, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be an exciting year for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, the thing with that though, sounds all good. What's the downside? It's up and downs with everything. There's something that I have to be more of this year than I have in the past couple of years, right?
Involved.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we're a team. And as I sit here and I say the expertise that I've brought to this situation, if I'm not there to support it and monitor it and be involved day to day, then my expertise is now being removed. Now that it's been rolled out. The business can't have that. My employees can't have that. My wife, you know what I'm saying? My friend, my ride or die, my business partner, CFO, EA, she got all types of labels. She can't have that. So it's the accountability I'm going to have to bring to continue to support this thing that we'll put in. Because if not, this great thing that is a win for us now all of a sudden becomes a problem if you have to hold the bag.
Please.
We're not going to do that.
Please don't let me hold the bag.
We're not going to do that.
Because I tried. Remember, I tried to do some sort of implementation and...
I know, but guess what? This whole experience with us is eye-opening because it shows very clearly what I bring and what you bring. So it's okay to bring what I bring and let you bring what you bring. You know what I'm saying? We can learn from each other and all of that, but we both have different skill sets that we bring to the business. And they only work if both people are being accountable to their skill sets and what they're responsible to do. So I'm going to be better. You'll see. Because I could see how it's not going to work if I'm not present. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that. Anything else about this rollout we need to tell our customers or anything like that I missed? You know what I'm saying? It's a big time, but I think I covered it. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, you guys will see. It's big things for us this year. We value you. And for anybody out there that's got a business and you need to start that discussion, start that thought of like, I want to build a process. Like things are not working. And here's an easy way for you to tell. Like you might be like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, where am I getting? This is an easy way to tell. If you're ever sitting there working and you're busy all the time and you have to ask yourself, am I really making money? The process is jacked. That's an easy indicator. If you always have to kind of question, am I really making money? And not, did I receive money? That's the difference, right? Because we know about receiving money before are you worth $1 thing. I know we can talk about that. But making money is not receiving money. Making money is actually holding on to it. It's a difference. So receiving money is actually creating income. But making money is actually holding on to some of that money that came in. And a lot of people that are business owners don't always feel that the process ain't working. They don't always feel that things are inefficient because they're busy and money's coming in. But where is the money going when it comes in? Is it going to 5 places and it really should go to 3? Is it coming in 3 different ways when it really should come in through 1? Is 2 people involved with money coming in when it should be systematic? It's all different types of things that are impacting how efficient you are and how much money your business is actually making. And it's, do you have the right processes and steps? You know what I'm saying? Because let's think for us. If I can do 100 returns in a process manually, where I have to reach out and say, here's your specific contract. Did you get it? Do you got any questions on it? Then I got to send them an invoice separate. Okay, that's great. I did 100 people. But what if I didn't have to do those steps manually? Maybe we would have did 125. Or maybe we would have known quicker that some of those 100 are not truly interested. And we can move on to advertise and go a different way. I see all the different possibilities that's coming out of this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we'll see. But other than that, this week has also been, it's been interesting because there's been some challenges in it. I would say that create the word doubt. So I want to talk about that a little bit. You know, sometimes not always a system roll up, but something in your life that's happening could cause you to start doubting. Whether it's doubting yourself, whether it's doubting anyone that's involved with you, you know what I'm saying? But it creates this environment of uncertainty and not being sure about yourself. And I've recognized this week that there were some things happening with me, you know what I'm saying, that created some type of doubt in something that I'm super confident in, you know? But I say that because like me, I'm a coach, played football my whole life, soccer, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's been tough. Has some losses, you know what I'm saying? Has some tough losses. Has some losses where the work ethic ain't been there with the players. And the doubt has started creeping in a little bit in regards to like, man, why is this not turning around? What am I not doing? Like, it's that first instant reaction when something's not happening. It's like, what am I doing wrong? And that's great. But now that I've slept on it a little bit, I'm starting to realize that we don't always got to take things personal when things don't work. Because sometimes it may just not work for different reasons. That moment in time, that opportunity. But if you always make it about yourself and what you did or what you didn't do, you can sometimes hold on and start to create doubt that don't need to be there. So I really thought about it and I said, getting my players ready. We're training really, really well. There's some things that can be improved, but we'll lose some tough games. And some of them's been pretty close. So we don't have time for this doubt to creep in because we got to be at work. We got to be focusing on this couple of things that have caused the game to go left here and there. Doubt is a waste. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
But that's the devil though. He's real good. He knows how to come right in. And it's usually when you're not getting the results that you want. Because we're results driven. All of us. We want results. I want to win. I'm used to winning. So that's going to be my triggering event that, all right, maybe something's wrong. But that's not it. I need to look at what's really happening and dive deep into things and fix the problem. And I'm excited to do that this week. But like, I can see this week of like how the results not being what you hope for could get you done. I want to encourage everybody because we ain't perfect. That's why we be real on our podcast. It's okay to have them low moments. All right, we can go to a real place right now. I had a low moment where I found myself eating like a freaking $5 big bag of candy, all types of lasagna and soda all in one night. Woke up super bloated, you know what I mean, looking crazy. And then Randi, you said something to me. I want to see if you can say it the way you said it, dude. You said something to me about scaring you. And you said, why are you doing this? What, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what I said.
You said, why? Something like, why are you doing this to yourself? And it's scary. And I was like, what? And you was like, because you're in a dark place.
You go to such a dark place.
You go to such a dark place. Now, I want to bring that up because for a lot of people, we're very passionate about things. Like the things that mean so much to you, they can be dangerous because if it doesn't work, the negative could be that impactful to you because you wanted it so bad. You wanted it to work out so bad. You wanted to be successful in it so bad. So how do you deal with failure when it don't work out? And you got to go back to the drawing board and be like, well, I actually thought I had done all the steps. I thought I was ready. I led everybody to the water to drink it and they didn't drink it. And now you got to go back and start over from scratch. And I could see how having to keep getting up off the pavement every time is tough. You know what I'm saying? But that dark place is where that doubt starts to creep in. And that doubt starts to creep in because when it works, we give everybody else the credit. And when it don't work, we give ourselves all the blame. It's all about what we didn't do, mistakes, what this person's looking at. Think we make it the wrong way. And I realize that like, that's not what it's about. It's about the task at hand and getting better at the task at hand, giving yourself some grace and realizing that your time's going to come. You just got to be diligent and work at it. And my favorite new word, consistency. Consistency in it makes all the difference. So when you get knocked down, it sounds simple, but you got to get back up. When you sit there and you put everything together and you think that you've been ready for it and you got everything ready and everybody's ready to go and it don't happen, you got to go back to the drawing board. You got to keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting, and especially when you're in this thing called life, where you know that every punch that you throw, somebody's coming back with an uppercut on you. You know what I'm saying? And as you go through and you throw your punches and you're fighting and everybody you see on the sideline is cheering your name, then you realize maybe they're not really cheering my name. Maybe they're cheering my name for a different reason. Those things can prop you up. You have to prop yourself up. You got to find your own self-belief. You got to make yourself better individually, because the things that you could be relying on to keep you elevated, they're not even tangibly there. They're not real. People's love and admiration changes like the breeze. You're not going to make everybody happy neither. That's also not your job to do. You know what I'm saying? God couldn't keep everybody happy in heaven, and he only had 2 people there. So what chance do we got of keeping everybody happy and keeping everybody thinking that we're the greatest? But some of us had that problem. I'm one of them. I know that. But if you're out there, you're listening, like, you are the greatest to yourself. You might be the greatest to your wife. You might be the greatest to your kids, but you step out into the world and you're not the greatest for everybody, no matter what you do. And no matter how great you actually are, everybody may not see it. Everybody may not appreciate it. Some people may appreciate it and get used to it, take it for granted. Does any of that change how you should be? Does it impact how you really are? I know for me, it makes me feel like I'm different, but truthfully, I'm the exact same person that's getting better every day. If I work at it, played football my whole life, I got the same skills that I did last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 months ago when the record was better. Got the same skills, if not more. Got the same experience, if not more. But life and experiences has gotten challenging, and it can create doubt. But I want to encourage everybody. You know what I mean? As I've had to encourage myself, as my wife's encouraged me, we don't got time for doubt. Doubt is like a gimmick for real. There's things that you're doubting. It's just wasting time in you actually acting and becoming better. You know, and you will doubt yourself sometimes, but usually when you're finding yourself in doubt, it's because you're trying to do something big. You're trying to do something impactful, and something has knocked you down. And if you have the opportunity to pick up on what that is, then you can keep on going. So I know that I'm a great coach, great businessman, got a lot of skills, and certain things are not always going the way that I want. But I have to go back and continue to get better, just like I did with our business with you, you know? And when doubt creeps in, you have to acknowledge what it is. We just talked about rolling out our new process and everything. And I just talked about how proud I am that I did this for myself on for the first time. What if it has some mistakes? What if some things don't go perfect? You get it? Then the devil was going to be right there waiting.
You can expect that some things are not going to go perfect.
Facts. He's going to be right there waiting.
See, I told you.
As he hears this conversation to marginalize me. And because that's what the devil does, and we'll talk about it. But he's going to find that way to take this moment that I'm shining and to take this moment that we're proud of and dim it down and bring us back. Be like, well, look, you got all these mistakes going on. Maybe you weren't really ready for that. Or maybe there's 2 clients that pop up and be like, I don't really like this software. Or I think it could be like this, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe another client, I don't want to pay the new prices. I don't mind the way it was before. What does it mean? Do we go left and now switch it?
I'm staying right in the middle. I'm staying right.
You know what I mean?
Right with the new process.
Do you now write it down, and the next time you go build this out for somebody, you're hesitant because of, no, you can't do that. Because now that doubt is actually determining my moves. We don't need that. Nobody has the right to take that great shine away, but the devil wants to not let your light shine. And he always finds a way to dim it. And what we got to be aware of is that when I talk about the devil and his impact and his influence, I'm not saying some dragon out of nowhere just comes and sabotages your stuff. But it might be a word from somebody you thought had your back. It might be a comment from somebody you thought that's been a client for years, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, hold on. It might be somebody that you really, really trust that you thought was going to support. You know what I'm saying? It might be something that you really, really thought was going to work out. These things pop up out of nowhere where it's like he knows how to hit you. He knows there's moments to let that little bit of information in to knock you off your game. And sometimes it knocks you off your game. I know that you, though, I appreciate you. If I get knocked off my game, you come right in, yo, and you pull me back. And the reason I love you for this, and we gonna move on for this, is that you always find a way to remind me of my greatness. I appreciate that about you. That's why I continue to get better, because even when I have these doubts creep in and things are not perfect, you come right back in and you light my light for me again. That's what you do. And you show me that I'm great. And I hope that I do the same for you. But that's what we have to be able to do for ourselves. I got the benefit. I got a dope ride or die that does that for me. And you see the greatness in me and you remind me that whatever's going on, even if I need to get better at it, you still show me that my light is bright. And that's very impactful to me. And I hope that everybody that's listening is encouraged by this, even if it's just from us. If you're falling down, you're trying to do great things, and your light is starting to dim, let us shine a light on you and tell you that you're still amazing. You're still smart. You're still great. You still have great potential. You failed, it's all right. We getting right back up. We're not worrying about that. You feeling doubt today, that's because you got determination and success on the other side of the door. So we going to push for you. Because that doubt today is that thing that's going to have you jumping and clapping and super excited when you make it. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you tap into people that have been there, that know what it's like to not be confident all the time, but also know what it's like to identify the things that are trying to hold us down and have the right mindset to go through it. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. So anyway, this week was a week of a little bit of doubt, but my takeaway from it was, always keeping my mind on the task at hand and not making it personal when it don't have to be personal, and I know that's going to help me going forward to be better if I focus on what it is and not make it a personal thing.
That's why it's so important when I say, well, I did my best. Because you have to ask yourself, hey, regardless of the result, did I give it all that I had? Mm-hmm. And you did. There's nothing else that you could have done. So be sad about it for a second, but no, you know what? I did my best and it didn't work the way I thought it would, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But you know what irritates me though? It really does irritate me. Is that's when the devil wants to come in and be active. I mean, I know it makes sense, but he is like, nobody seems to be smarter at finding those moments to bring you down. He just knows what to say. Knows when you're not at your strongest point. It's almost like walking through your life with like a advertisement on me, like I'm feeling low today. I'm not feeling confident today. And then that's the day that something happens. Somebody call you, says something left base. Something happens at work, and then all of a sudden something happens at practice. Then all of a sudden something happens at home. It's on those days. And it's just like he just knows, And sometimes it's hard to fight through it because when you get these things in your life that make you feel down, a lot of times you're already down from something else. So it's like a pile on. You know what I'm saying? They can keep you stuck. But I know that I got to work through that. And I know people have to work through that too. But it is hard to do, And one of the things that I was thinking about, which I want your opinion on, and I do want your opinion on this, but sometimes somebody may feel like, is it ever going to happen for me? And even more than that, did I miss my opportunity? Because let's think about it. There's a lot of people out there that have ideas for all types of things. It's a lot of people that had dreams or potential to do things, and you can make decisions that you miss opportunities that don't come back sometimes, And I wonder, and I just want your thoughts on it, but have you ever wondered, look at us now, we got our podcast, we're doing what grandma pretty much always told us you was bubbling at. I know this is it, a big part of it. But like, have you ever sat down and been like, did I miss my moment? Is it too late for me? Is it something where I had opportunities in the past and I didn't take them, and now I'm here, 40 doing my podcast and maybe I missed it?
You know what's interesting? I don't think like that.
Why not?
I just wasn't, I don't know.
So how do you feel?
I just wasn't brought up that way to let the doubt creep in or my time is over. Like, it's just, I don't think like that. Like, I always think that God has a plan and things are unfolding and happening the way they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. So no time, it could never be too late for me to do anything because God's timing is perfect.
But see, you said God a few times in that. And I'm glad you said it the way you said it, because again, we're not necessarily got a religious podcast, but we keep it real about everything with us, you know, and your value of what you're doing doesn't come from the world. Because in all honesty, to the world, a lot of people would say like, oh, well, you probably should have started this earlier. You should have been on this younger. Like,
the market is just too many people. It shows every day started. Yeah,
exactly. You know,
I have lots of reasons that I could doubt.
Exactly. You have tons of reasons.
Yeah.
Everything that's keeping you not doubting is grounded in something deeper than just the world and statistics and what podcasts pop at and when you should do this and what age. None of that has to do with it. You got a deeper connection. And I wanted you to say that because once again, for anybody who ain't listened to our podcast before, we talk about success, but we frame it up in a way that is true to what we believe, which is this is something that God has intended for us to do while we're on earth. Because we're not on earth forever. And it might result in making a whole lot of money. It might result in making a humongous impact with people. It might result in making a huge impact for yourself. But we feel that that success that's here for you is specifically here for just you. Because you ain't like nobody else. And God made you unique. And he had a plan for you in your life. And we can't let ourselves go our whole lives and not tap into what we're intended to do and what we've been blessed with. You know what I'm saying? And I think with you, you're not going to have that because you have that understanding. And we know we're okay with being different. We're definitely okay with being different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that relationship you have, I admire that. But that courage that you have, that, look, what my purpose is from something greater. So I'm never going to be discouraged. You know what I'm saying? And that's beautiful because if you think about it, God's love for you ain't got no expiration date. He don't love you more because you were 17 and young and now you're 40 and certain things hurt on your body. He don't love you no different. You know what I'm saying? Because before you had this type of car, you was out at the club every night buying drinks with everybody, and all of a sudden you can't come out anymore and you can't party like you used to. His love for you the same. Maybe your friends ain't. Maybe the people that used to know you, they can't rock with you the same, but God always rock with you. He's always there. That's dope. But everybody else may not be there. So everybody else, as you're going through and you're looking, hey, do you see that I'm valuable? Hey, do you see that I'm valuable? Hey, do you see that my podcast is popping? You want to go follow me? Hey, do you see that my business Basden Accounting is great? You want to come get your taxes done? If your worth is built on their responses, you begin up, down, up, down, up, down, beat up, beat up, beat up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the world will do to you. That's why that can't be where your value is at. Because people can pick you up and put you down all the time. But God don't pick you up and put you down. He always got you. So you can always feel loved and appreciated and valued by the person that loves and appreciates and values you all the time throughout your entire life. You know what I'm saying? That's just dope. But you don't get that from everybody. You only get that from one person. One person. That's the one that's going to give you that true energy and will and support for you to get through things in your life. You know what I'm saying? Peace.
Because no matter what we're going through, there's always a sense of peace about it. Like, you know what? It's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. And I think that we've walked with the Lord long enough to know, like, it's been so many storms that come our way, but we're fine.
Exactly. But we forget that when the next one comes, sometimes you forget.
Sometimes we get a little,
mm-hmm.
but it doesn't throw us off for too long.
No.
Like, we're always like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know what this is. I know. Yeah. It's going to be all right.
Yeah. So we've been pulling about a bunch of things today, but that doubt, we going to recognize what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to be diligent through things. You know what I mean? We're going to keep working on our way to true success, being connected with what God wants us to do and maximizing the abilities and talents that He's gave us. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to sit there every day and get bumped around by what the world thinks and what the world says is successful, and what your friends may say. Like, find that within yourself. Let your own light shine bright. Always.
Speaking of that, there's something that's been on my mind this week.
What's that?
That I forgot to run past you.
Not yet.
So, Quiet Money Podcast was project one for Quiet Money Corp.
Right.
The next rollout would be close.
Okay.
So we need to get that popping.
We do, but you ain't got your hoodie on today. But that's one thing. I gotta get my hoodie. But we need to come up with different designs and stuff like that.
Yes, but we need a logo.
We do need a logo. But I'm gonna tell you, with the designs and everything, I know we'll talk about it, but I know that I want some messages on our clothes that represent what we are.
Yeah.
Unique messages for everything that we represent. Success, your own way, whatever it is. I'm not the most creative, but I will get creative with this. But I want to rock my own clothes, my own brand, period. Because I saw when you had it and I admired that. I wanted that. Yeah. So like, this is who we are and this is what we believe in, and we're going to go 100% all through and through. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
I took some pictures in my phone of some logo ideas that I like that could be incorporated into the Quiet Money logo. So just want to put that out there because I hadn't bought it up. And
no.
I thought that would be the right time.
Hey, and you know what? Everybody that listens to us, they get to see when we think about things, and they also get to see when we put it through. So
we don't even have a logo.
We don't even have a logo yet. You know what I'm saying? But, whatever episodes it was before, we had this new idea for software, and now we rolled it out so people could see it. Now they're going to hear probably in another episode how it's going. If people like it or not, like we keep it 100, and you're going to be able to follow our journey with us all the time as we go through things. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's so important because sometimes people look like an overnight success and you don't really get to see the behind the scenes or what it took to get there. So I think that this is this could be life changing for somebody just to see, because if it doesn't work, like you said, we're going to talk about it. We're going to
talk about it right here. And that's the thing. That's real about our show. Like if it don't work, you're going to hear about it right here and why it don't work, because the platform we're creating is really what I say. It's the number one show for going through the ups and downs of life. And when we're in those downs, we're sharing it with you. We're sharing what happened, what didn't work. So you're not just going to see us on Instagram, new software, Basden Accounting, blah, blah, blah. And then all you hear is all the success stories about how people loved it. That's cool. But you're not learning what we can really give you, which is all the heartaches and things that didn't work also as we did it, and how we'll continue to get better right in front of your face. So then you should be able to come right in here and build this community with us, right where you're at right now. Let's get better with you. Let's get better together. Let's educate and share information with people that will never have an opportunity to connect on certain situations. When you go forward, if somebody's thinking about rolling out a new software for their business, they need to connect with us. They can go through certain bumps on the end, but why? You don't have to. I'm creating a platform right now where you're going to hear about it. You can come connect with us and let's talk about it.
Can I just say this as well? So we're both business partners. And with this software rollout, I tried to do it without you, thinking that, okay, like the company, they offer training and all this other stuff. But in the past, we've talked about having a coach or paying somebody to get the job done. Well, because you're a partner, we don't have to pay you. But it got done. I tried to roll this thing out and started back in the summertime. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
But I'm just saying it makes the process so much easier when you hire a professional. And I just wanted to just talk about that just for a second because it's so important. It's so important. And I think that you should maybe add that to the services that we do. I mean, I know
like system implementation, and
because it's not even about making money. It's like peace of mind.
Yeah,
like you can really give that to people, and I have that. So, thank you again. No, honestly, and I hope you see your greatness.
Thank you
in that, and expect for things to go wrong. Remember last week something went wrong with me and I was crying with the business.
I remember.
And those things happen, but don't let it deter you.
Yeah.
Maybe get a little curious about, I wonder what other softwares are out there that I can implement. And just saying, it could be a whole new career. Maybe. I don't know what's going to come from it, but it was definitely, you saved so much time.
I appreciate it. I'm glad. I could do a lot when you believe in me. You know what I'm saying? I could do a lot. I could definitely do a lot. But,
Well, I do believe in you.
I believe in you. I always thought you was the greatest when I met you. I tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, when I hear you say good things about me, it's just dope because I always had you in a high regard when I met you. Serious. So, and you ain't disappointed to this day. And I know that, some of the things that make you frustrated is inefficient processes and also not being paid what you're worth.
So but what frustrates me too is that I can't always communicate my frustration because I don't always understand exactly what it is. But you're like a professional and you can just come in and identify
what it is. But that's okay. But maybe if I was more hands-on all this time, you wouldn't have had those communication blocks to tell me what you're feeling because I would have saw it. So I think the underlying thing also is we got a business together and we have to do it together and bring what we bring best to the business together so that we can help each other when we see each other needing help, whether we ask for it or not.
Yeah.
Now, if you were struggling with things in our business at certain points, you would have had to find a way to pull it together and present it to me at the right time, in the right way for me to receive it. And then I would have had to learn what's going on and that kind of thing. But maybe if I'm really in there with you all the time, I can see things and see your experiences and be more hands-on with things. Just like you're with me with the, when you think about it, when it comes to the diet and fitness type stuff, we're kind of on that same page together, focusing on trying to be better with that. So that's why you can see like, oh, hold on, you're doing something you weren't doing 2 weeks ago. What's going on, right? Because we're connected. Like, why are you eating that? Why are you doing this? Because we're connected on that situation. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to be more connected and do that,
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree because guess what? I should have probably never been trying to roll anything out
but,
on my own.
But that's all right. What I mean?
But I did identify the system.
You did. So it was, this whole thing was your idea. This was your idea, trying to make things
I'm going to get better without him. I'm going to figure it out.
But anyway, as we wrap up our episode today, make sure you follow our podcast, Quiet Money Podcast, on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, follow us on Instagram, make sure you support our platform, like refer us to a friend, like our videos, comment, anything. We want to interact with you. We want to grow this platform. And this is something we strongly believe in. But listen, if you want to go to the number one place to just be real about life and talk through everything that me and Randi be involved in, from family to finances, money, traveling, business, podcasts, new ideas, investing, like we literally do pretty much everything together. So you can learn a lot from us and we're on our way. You know what I'm saying? And as we continue to become more and more successful, we are going through ups, downs, and all of that.
And round and round.
Round and round. Now, I know you wanted to talk about something today that I didn't even get to, so we have to save it for the next episode. You know what I'm saying? But a little teaser to that. Randi and I, when we first started our whole interaction with the public about what we're doing, we started a YouTube channel. And we had a series that was called Are You Worth $1? And we want to revisit that and a couple things with it. And now we're going to bring you to the future. We're going to have a part about some finances. You know what I mean? We got to get our finances right. So if you need to get your finances right, make sure you stay tuned to the next episode or maybe one afterwards because we go all over the place. But sometime soon, you guys are going to get some really good advice on how to manage your finances a little bit, personal finances. You know what I mean? Because Randi is the GOAT when it comes to that. But anyway, make sure you follow us. You know what I mean? Quiet Money Podcast. I'm Dex. Is my co-host Randi. We guys are here for you. We're here with you. And until next time, peace. Make sure you follow Quiet Money Podcast on all streaming platforms that have podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. Leave comments on our videos. Let us know what you're going through, ups and downs. We want to hear from you. We engage with you. And we'll see you next time. Peace.